everyone, this is Sally with Disabled Advantage Dog Training. I'm working on a new series, dog training tips specifically for people who are living with conditions like CRPS, EDS, POTS, fibromyalgia, and other types of chronic illnesses that impact pain, fatigue, dizziness, balance, and things like that. So these tips apply to people who either have a pet dog and live with these conditions. Maybe you're disabled by your condition. Maybe you're not disabled by it, but you live with it. And it also applies to people training service dogs. And so what I'm going to focus primarily on are manners that we teach our dogs, and specifically manners and select rules that I include in my own dog training packages when I work with clients who have either disabilities or medical conditions, whether they're disabilities yet or not. And the reason I value these skills so much is not just because all dog trainers, the good ones, put an emphasis on teaching your dog manners, because most dog owners want a dog who's well behaved and polite and not a jerk. And so pretty much every dog trainer out there is teaching how to wait at doors, how to wait for meals, how to not pull on the leash. These are basic core dog training elements. And a lot of the times the focus when you ask a dog trainer, why is this important? A lot of the times the focus is on, this is important because we want your dog to not be a jerk. We want to keep your dog safe. We want to keep your kids safe. And those are all valuable points. Where I want to focus is why I teach these manners to help keep you safe with your condition. So I do care about your dog safety. I 100% do. And I am going to touch on that with each of the rules and manners that I include in my program, is why it keeps your dog safe. But also I want to help you see the use side of it, because when you train with me through Disabled Advantage, you're not just getting a dog trainer. You're getting someone who sees life through the eyes of chronic pain and chronic illness and disability. And the reasons I do things with my own dogs and the reasons I have for my dogs very specific behavior are based out of what I need for my chronic illness to keep me safe or safer. There's no perfect with CRPS because we still have unpredictable flares. But I would be willing to bet that some of your flares are being caused by your dog, and you may not realize it, because most people don't see the world through trainer eyes. And so take that and then compound it with, when you're dealing with so much pain and exhaustion and brain fog, things like the word for a cup or the word for a spoon, or remembering how to put certain words together in a sentence, become extremely challenging for us. And so trying to connect the dots of, my dog did this and then I got a bad flare, or even I got a minor flare that built up and made all the other stuff I did later that day worse, is really difficult. It takes a while to start to notice the patterns that your dog is doing and how that's impacting your chronic illness. And that goes for everything. Like us, it takes forever for us to figure out, oh, these pants always trigger flares. Maybe I should stop doing that type of pant. Or, every time I do this, 3 days later, I get a really bad flare. And that's part of the problem, is that all of our conditions are a little bit different. They all play by their own rules. And it can be difficult for us to notice patterns with basic stuff. Like, oh, I ate potatoes and then I felt really terrible a few hours later. So it is not surprising to me that there are going to be more people with chronic illnesses having trouble with their dogs, partly because it's hard for us to see the patterns and remember them. So you might see it and go, oh my gosh, that totally makes sense. And then your brain just erase. But then part of it too is that there are not very many dog trainers who take the time to adapt dog training methods to your specific chronic illness or disability. I am one of the few. So when I work with a client, I figure out what their thresholds are for what they can handle as far as training goes. And then we also work through, I help them learn to see the patterns of what their dog is doing and how it's impacting your chronic illness, and come up with solutions to resolve that. So whether you're training a service dog who's going to be assisting you on a daily basis with your condition, your disability, or you're training a pet dog, there's still a level of flare prevention happening. Because having a extremely well-behaved, super polite, super conscientious, space-aware dog does make life with a chronic illness and dog ownership work better together. In this dog training tips series, it's not going to be instructionals. So if you need training help and step-by-step instruction, you still need to sign up for a training session with me. I have one-on-one session options where you can sign up for just an hour of training or 2 hours of training, or you need to sign up for a full training course with me so that I can give you the level of attention and dedication to your needs that you need out of a dog trainer. These videos are more so to help you understand the why behind why something is important, why changing something about your dog's routine or how they interact with your life could make an impact on your health and well-being with your chronic condition, and why they're good for your dog. It's also meant to give you more insight into the level of thoughtfulness and purpose and intention that I put into my dog training. Part of my whole mission and purpose with Disabled Advantage is to empower people with disabilities and chronic illnesses alike to be able to train your own dog. So these tips are an insight into what I include in my dog training program and the value that I bring for clients who have chronic illnesses. Now, if you like what you hear and you're a perfectly healthy, able-bodied client and you want to train with me, fantastic. I also work with healthy, able-bodied people. The other part of this is that I'm going to try to make accompanying blog posts. So there's going to be a video and then there's going to be a written blog post, and I'm going to link the two so that if you do better with hearing and visual, you have that. But if you do better with reading, you have that. And if you do better with all of it, you're going to have the combination. Again, I want to emphasize that these are not instructionals. They are insight. They pull back the curtain for you on why you should care, why it matters, and why some of your life with your dog might be harder than it has to be, and how to make it easier. And for anybody who's considering owning a dog with chronic illness, think of it as there might be some things that you're worried about in terms of owning a dog. Taking care of their needs, keeping them safe, avoiding expensive costs, managing your chronic illness and the dog's needs, and then also, recognizing that a dog could potentially hurt you unintentionally with your chronic illness. And so it's my hope that this video series will help educate people with chronic illnesses that dog ownership with chronic illness is 100% possible. And it is possible to have a dog who is not a jerk and who is super, super gentle and polite to you. But it does take a little bit of work on your end. And if you're looking for a trainer, please sign up for training sessions with me. Whether it's a single training session or a full package, I will do everything that I can to give you your money's worth and customize the training that we're doing to your condition and to give you the time that you need to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish with your dog. I don't care just about the dog training. I genuinely care about you and your well-being and helping you learn how to live with your dog in a way that works with your chronic illness and not against it. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And the first video I'm going to do in this series is waiting at doors and why that matters.